Gold and silver on fire this Tuesday. Is gold returning as a safe haven? Joining me to talk about this is Vince Lancy, Managing Director over at FMX Connect. Vince, always nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Gold and silver on a roll. Vince, do you think that there's a return to gold being viewed as a safe haven right now?
Well, we'd like to say that that's true, and I think it is true, but it's interesting because the first hour of the trading day, all the commodities were on fire, and gold and silver were the weakest of the bunch. But then some quick news headlines came out of Europe in succession, the end result being gold and silver rallying along with the dollar. So I'd have to be skeptical of anyone who says that gold is not a safe haven anymore. It looks like there's a return to that mentality in a big way today.
All right, Vince, earlier this morning, European Union finance ministers meeting was canceled. What's the news coming out of Europe?
Well, the markets were stronger this morning, around 8 a.m. And then an announcement came out that the European financial ministers meeting would be canceled. And most commodities and stock markets immediately began to retrace their gains on the day. Then it was learned that the reason that this meeting was canceled was because they ostensibly did not want to steal the thunder of the leaders meeting, which is scheduled after that. So the question then became, is the leaders meeting canceled too? And the answer was no, that meeting is still on. So why cancel the financial ministers meeting? Our thoughts are the news isn't going to be all good. And the markets seem to agree because soon thereafter, everything started turning upwards again in the commodity sector, in the inflationary sector, but gold and silver took the lead, which suggests we're not going to get closure out of Europe, at least not anytime soon.
All right, Vince, you sent me over another chart this week. Past few weeks, you were telling us that open interest may flatline. Seems it has. What can you tell us?
Well, the last few weeks we've noticed, a lot of, with the margin raises and the declining market, open interest have been declining along with the sell-off. We're talking about gold here. And we would look for open interest to flatline or actually slightly increase in a sell-off. And I think the chart I sent you there has two circled areas. One area shows a 4-day decline in the market with a flat line in the open interest. And that should have been a warning to shorts that were, front running the market, or people who wanted to get long, that we could be putting in an intermediate bottom. We personally thought the market was going to go a little bit lower, but today has proven us wrong. Bottom line is the open interest told us that you should be careful if you're short.
So going forward, Vince, is this positive for gold and silver?
Well, considering that, is it positive for gold and silver? The answer is yes, for multiple reasons. We have put in an intermediate bottom. The European crisis is far from resolved. I think you'll find that out tomorrow. And, the CME hasn't really lowered its margin requirements, despite the sell-offs in gold. So that tells me these buyers are deeper pocketed and not so speculative oriented. I would guess they're probably money coming out of Europe with ears on a meeting going on over there.
So intermediate bottom for gold and silver.
Intermediate bottom. The warning that I would give, and I'm not a technician, but the warning is this: we've had a breakout in volatility on a Bollinger Band system that we look at quite closely, and those systems often show large moves followed by intense reversals. So this could be the beginning of the Europe is going to have a crisis, and the bottom line, and that makes gold and silver scream higher, and then somebody steps in like the US or the IMF as a wild card and solves the problem. So the markets could be whippy right now, but we think gold is cleared to go to 1720 before there's resistance. Above 1750, if the market gets up there, then we think 2000 is on the table again. But we still think it'll be reasonably orderly.
So Vince, when we say intermediate, what does intermediate mean? What's the time frame?
Intermediate would be 2 weeks to 2 months for us.
All right, Vince, as usual, enlighten us. Final thoughts for viewers this week.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago we said keep your powder dry. We think it's time to load your guns now. Silver especially, we think if it closes near the highs today, we'd be buyers of silver with a reasonably tight stop because this is the beginning of a large move, not the end of a small move.
Load your guns. Thank you, Vince
Right.
Lancy. We'll see you again next week. And thank you for watching. Kitco News will be headed to New Orleans tomorrow to cover the investment conference down there. As always, you can send me your comments and questions at newsfeedback@kitco.com. For Kitco News, I'm Daniela Cambone.